Behind me is a selection of stuff from when I was a kid. I've never grown up, but this is what I remember from like the 80s and the 90s. This is the sort of stuff I remember from your little Radio Shack RC cars to the Tamiya monster trucks, the BMXs, if you're in the UK, the BT's bags. And that's a lot of memories there for me. We had no internet, we had no mobile phones, we had no social media. What a time to be alive that was. So all we had really was toys to play with. And I'm sure a lot of you that are into RC will remember the Techni Plus, the Acums or Acums AP27. This is the Mark V. It was produced, I think it was very late 80s into the early 90s. A basic 2-channel transmitter, forward, backwards, left and right, throttle trim and steering trim. You could also change the throttle in here so you had more forward throw on it. I remember doing this back in the day to try and get a little bit more speed out of it. What would often happen is your mechanical speed controller would overshoot and it gets stuck at full forward and you'd have to go chasing your truck. I'm sure a lot of you remember that. Things did progress from this, and I think even at the time this was out, you did have pistol grip controllers, but this was a later one. And then mobile phones came about. You probably remember your parents having like that big phone that you'd pull the aerial out. When I was old enough to have a mobile phone, it was the Nokias that were a thing. Anyway, get to the point. I know. Before we do that though, I expect you want to know what's in this BT's bag. Again, this is something from the 90s. Some of you may already have seen it. Sorry, I couldn't resist. It's actually a madcap. It's a Tamiya madcap from 1989, I believe. And there's a reason I've chosen this. Back in the day, this would cost you £49.99 in the UK. Back then, I don't know what it was in dollars, but in today's money, $49.99 is, well, probably about $60. Probably less at the moment, the way the pound's going. But anyway, $49.99. Take into account inflation, now in 2022, this would cost you over £100, which is about $110, $120, which happens to be about the cost of this new WFly X9, which is here. So this back in the day cost the same as what this costs now in 2022. Comparing these two is like comparing an iPhone to a Nokia. WFly sent me this quite some time ago. I didn't want to get it out and review it without actually using it. So I've been using it for months now. I've used it on various things. And more recently, you'll see in there is the receiver TR15T, the Nitro Tamiya has been using it. I've also used it in my Street Cronus, which is an absolute beast. She's got some power. Also had it in that stock as well as a basher. So, yeah. Oh man. But it's packed away in there at the moment, but my Comp 2 rig has also got it. I've got no clearance here because the body's in the way. Wow. Well, switch channel 4 on the transmitter. And you got a driving mode. And now it's clear. Flick the switch again and you go into high clearance mode. Oh, I'm a genius, aren't I? I know, I am a genius. But it is packed with more features than probably you need. And it looks really, really nice. Really well built. Good grip on it. It's a little bit of a stretch for me. I like to drive one-handed. I can do it, but it's a little bit of a stretch. But it feels solid in the hand. It takes AA batteries, but I think it's a standard JST connector, so you could connect a LiPo in there, make it last forever. 9 channels. Nine channels, mad. Aerial's just here. You can fold it out like that. Switch it on. Goes all futuristic. You can change the home screen. If you go into the menu, everything you could think of in there: base setting, throttle functions, timers, model menu, advanced menu, linkage menu, system menu, servo view. And every time you move one, shows you on there which one you move. You can see I've got these mixed at the moment. Channel 3 and 4 are mixed. So that's all in the advanced menu, setting all your mixing, steering, brake, gyro, the lot. Big feature for this, tank mixing. If you like driving tanks, but you don't like using a stick controller, switch this function on. I've got it set wrong at the moment. The channels aren't the right way around at the moment for this. But as you can see, you can mix it and you can adjust all sorts on there. You've got a function for dual ESCs as well, something that would be really handy, I'm sure, for some of you that like to run twin motors. 4-wheel steer mixing as well, if you've got a crawler and you want a bit of 4-wheel steer. So as you can see, absolutely loads of features. If I was going to go through every feature on here, this video would be probably 40 minutes long. I'm not going to go through every feature. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can look at it in there. You can also connect it via USB. You've got telemetry complimentary voice as well. This is really cool. It can get a little bit annoying if you don't set it up right though. It talks to you all the time and can get a little bit annoying, but listen.
Center VR. Center trim. Minimum trim. Maximize DL. Maximize DL. Minimum DL. Minimum DL.
Imagine what we're going to be doing in the next 20 years. There's a 9-channel receiver it comes with. Being able to finely tune that throttle and stuff was ideal for this, and it runs spot on. Anyway, that's it for this video. I know it wasn't as action-packed as they usually are. If you weren't around in the late 80s, early 90s, let me know if you'd like to have been, looking at all this around here. If, like me, you were around like that, do you prefer where we're going with technology, or would you have preferred to stay in the 80s and 90s? I know what I'd have preferred to do.